So now, as I am feeling more inspired, I wanted to go over and talk about the second part of the recording. Here, let's have this car pass by real quick. Wow, I tell you, there's just so many people flying down my road tonight. So this recording is going to be about soul family again, and how I am consciously noticing and getting to know them better at certain time intervals throughout the week, throughout the months. So, spiritually in my head, there's the spiritual astrological wheel of Dunedain, and I've consciously noticed that at certain times there will be certain times to where one of my soul family members it'll be their turn to be on the I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like, okay, so there'll be one of them who will be the main archetype that's on the spiritual wheel. It'll be there. At that time would be their time to spiritually grow with me as a higher self. Displaying out each and every one of their aspects. There will be spiritual aspects that will come forth within this spiritual wheel, and it would be either my spirit father or one of my or the other two cousins. So the three of them are on the spiritual wheel, because these three are my primary guides, or angelic guides, or they could be a hybrid of a guide and an angel, maybe. But so I've consciously noticed that when I do my soul dancing, the soul dance with the music, resonating with the music on a higher level. So KILI and KILI, they're now doing this thing to where they will act like a shooting star in the sky, but I noticed that they're not a shooting star, it's them. And you have to be very observative. In a way, you have to observe them carefully to differentiate between a shooting star and an interdimensional being. And sometimes it's really hard to tell between the two. Same with the satellites up there at night. You can you can usually differentiate between a satellite and a orb being. The orb beings, your soul family, they will be higher up in the sky, and they will either, if they don't want to draw attention to themselves too much, they will dim themselves. But okay, so there was a time when KILI got really close, and he actually got really bright, like he shined his light at me, and it got really bright, and I was really surprised when he made that move. And after that, he did the shooting star thing, Thetaphili and KILI, they're both doing this like shooting star movement. They're both doing the whooshing shooting star thing. I think that usually means that they're either dancing with me, or they're really happy, or they're showing off their brilliance. They're showing off their conscious brilliance, and they both are very bright individuals consciously, so the energy fits them. But KILI was the first to do the whole shooting star thing, because I had noticed that from him first. And then Thetaphili did it. He did the shooting star in the sky. And then now, actually yesterday night, I went out and Thetaphili, he did the shooting star thing twice, and then I said, and then I wrote him, I texted him a letter in my message inbox within my cell phone. I made him a letter, and then I went outside, and then I read it out loud to him. And then now tonight, I was out here, and I'm like, I said, Orb Philly. You know, I just constantly say Orb Philly. Like, he just, and then now tonight, he was the orb, like he was up there. But I had a really hard time trying to see him, because my neighbor's house, her house light was on, her porch light was on, so I couldn't really see the sky all too well. I'm actually really surprised tonight, because whenever I want to contact my soul family, I don't try and push it, like I wait. So if he didn't show up one night, like, I'll wait the next night, or maybe wait a day or two to try again. But he actually came out tonight, and he was the light orb of consciousness. Because I wanted to see if he would actually do it, just to see, like, how intelligent he really is. And yeah, it's just been amazing so far. I wasn't really expecting all this to happen at all, really. But it's actually true. Like, if you really feel deep down in your heart, like, you have to really try and reach your heart space, like, so deeply, to the point where your heart frequency and vibrations are so powerful. Your heart frequency can actually reach other dimensional beings, their consciousness and their heart frequency as well. But I also want to note that there has to be a fair exchange of heart energy. The heart energy has to be exchanged, and if it isn't, then you have to be so sure about what you really want, what you really intend to do. See, if you set out an intention and it becomes something more, then this is basically what that is. And I'm also waiting to move from this place so that we could possibly be more rural. But as I think of this, as I think of these thoughts, and I am excited, I'm also afraid. Because I just don't want anything to happen to them, and I don't want anything to happen to me, And these certain individuals or entities, these cameras, there's cameras everywhere, and you have to be especially careful because there's certain technologies out now that can actually read your mind and everything. And these people around here in the communities may not even know about that. Because there are satellites and cameras even within the trees and the plants and all that. So my higher self, so my higher self, she's really excited at this point, but she also has to learn to be careful. As an air sign, it's hard for air signs to ground. And when they do ground, it'll only be for a few minutes or even a few seconds. Air signs just want to be